Hello everyone, welcome back to Coach Rick Sports. So I just want to make a video today, just a little bit of breaking news. Sure, some of you have probably already heard this already. So Leonard Fournette was waived by the Jacksonville Jaguars earlier today. So he's going to go through the waiver process first. Team could claim him. That means they'll be paying him whatever he was already owed. But if he passes through waivers, he's going to end up being released, and then a team could sign him as a free agent after that. This is greatly going to impact his impact in fantasy for the 2020 season. We'll have to see where he ends up to know for sure what kind of role he's going to have. But this close to the season, going in, having to learn a new playbook, even as a running back, it's not the easiest thing in the world to do. But if he ends up in the right situation, he could still have value as well. What are a couple possible landing spots for Fournette? The Bears are one that make a lot of sense. David Montgomery just went down with a groin strain. Their quarterback's coach is John DeFilippo, who was the offensive coordinator in Jacksonville last year with Fournette. So there's a little bit of familiarity there with him at least. If he's a guy Fournette liked, then he could probably convince Chicago to at least bring him in and give him a try. There's a couple different teams as well that he could fit in with. So we'll just kind of go team by team. I don't think the Chargers are going to be a fit. They already got Justin Jackson and Joshua Kelly to complement Austin Eckler. He might fit that kind of Melvin Gordon role, but I don't think they're really going to take a chance on him. It sounds like they really like Joshua Kelly coming out of camp. Denver with Melvin Gordon and Phillip Lindsay, they're not going to touch him. Then the Raiders got Josh Jacobs and all them pass catchers, so I don't think they'll touch him at all. And the Chiefs, they got Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Darrell Williams, DeAndre Washington, and Darwin Thompson. It's unlikely that they would go after him, especially how much they've been praising Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Then we'll go to the Steelers. They got James Conner, but Benny Snell and McFarland behind him. It's not an ideal fit, but there's a chance it could happen. Conner's been banged up throughout his career. Fournette's kind of been banged up as well. They could complement each other kind of nicely, and then if one would happen to get hurt, then the other one could take over the full-time role. It's not something I see that likely to happen, but it is a possibility. The Baltimore Ravens, they don't need another running back. They're pretty set there already. Cleveland Browns, they already got Chubb and Kareem Hunt, so I don't think that would be a landing spot at all. The Bengals have Joe Mixon, Gio Bernard as well. The only way I see that as a destination is if Mixon holds out and they can't reach an agreement with him for whatever reason. Then we'll go to the Patriots. Could be an interesting situation. They've been hyping up Damian Harris. They got James White, obviously, Rex Burkhead. Sony Michel's on the practice field, supposedly. He might end up on the PUP list. The Patriots could be in play here, especially if they're not as high on Damian Harris as they appear to be. Miami is an interesting one. He stay in the same state. They already signed Jordan Howard to a 2-year deal. Matt Breida they traded for. So I don't think it's very likely. The Bills might make a little bit of sense. They like to run the ball a lot, but I think they're a little high on Moss and Singletary that they wouldn't do it. The Jets are the Jets, and it wouldn't surprise me if Adam Gase tried to bring in another running back. He already tried to bring in Kalen Ballage. For whatever reason, he hates Le'Veon Bell. Still trying to figure out why, but he's got his boy Frank Gore there and Bell, so it's probably not likely, but I wouldn't say it's impossible either. The Titans, I don't think will go after him. Obviously, Derrick Henry's getting a whole bunch of touches. If something ever did happen to Derrick Henry, maybe it's a possibility then. Jacksonville's obviously not going to bring him back because they're the ones cutting him. The Texans got David Johnson and Duke Johnson. I don't think it's something they should do. Nothing Bill O'Brien does will surprise me anymore. He probably fits the system a little better than David Johnson does. I know some of you out there might not like hearing that, but Fournette's more of a running up the middle guy than David Johnson is, and that's how Bill O'Brien's been using his running backs over the last couple of years at least. Then the Colts, they already got Marlon Mack, Jonathan Taylor, or Naheem Hines is the patch sketching back. They don't need another running back, so they're definitely going to be out on him as well. We'll go over the NFC. We already talked about the Bears. Packers don't really need another running back, but LaFleur loves running backs, so I wouldn't completely rule it out, but it's unlikely. The Vikings, they already got Dalvin Cook and Alexander Madison, and then Mike Boone after that, so I don't think they need any more running back depth. Even if Cook does hold out, I think Madison just kind of takes over, and they don't really need help there. Detroit Lions could be interesting. If nobody else grabs them, maybe Detroit does. They don't really have a strong footing at running back. I know they drafted DeAndre Swift in the second round, He's already got a leg injury. He's not been practicing. I think he might have just returned in a limited fashion yesterday. Kerryon Johnson obviously has his own injury history. And then you just got guys like Ty Johnson and Bo Scarborough who are pretty much nobodies. It wouldn't surprise me, but I don't see it likely to happen after they drafted Swift. Then the Eagles, the only way I see the Eagles doing it is if Miles Sanders' injury is worse than they originally played on. Giants obviously have Saquon, they have Deion Lewis and Wayne Gallman. Doesn't make sense for them. Cowboys already have Zeke and Tony Pollard. That's not going to happen. The Washington football team, they have Adrian Peterson, Antonio Gibson, Bryce Love, J.D. McKissick, Peyton Barber, and probably even another running back after that. He's more talented than pretty much everybody there, so I wouldn't rule it out completely. But if they brought him in, then AP pretty much gets cut. I don't know how willing Ron Rivera would be to make that move. And then we go to the Falcons. The Falcons might make some sense if they want to limit Gurley's touches. Putting him and Gurley together might be a good, solid pairing. The Saints would be interesting. I know they love Latavius Murray, but I don't even know if he's an upgrade over Murray. But if you consider him an upgrade over Murray, putting him out there and then getting Kamara in the slot more, it could be real interesting. Not sure if that would be something that happens, but I wouldn't rule it out completely, but I say it's unlikely. Tampa Bay is one that people hyped up. I don't think it's going to happen. They already brought in Shady McCoy. They already got Ronald Jones. They got Keyshawn Vaughn. They got Dario Gumawale. They got Raymond Calais, who apparently they don't like for whatever reason, but he's a quick little short back. I think he should be doing the kick returning personally, but they said Keyshawn Vaughn's going to be doing that. We'll just have to see how that plays out. But I just don't see where they go out and get Fournette, at least. I could see him take the job if he got there, but I don't see them going out and getting him. And then Carolina, they obviously got Christian McCaffrey. They don't got really anybody behind him, but I don't think they're going to be in play to bring him in. Then lastly, we got the NFC West, so we got the Rams. The Rams could be real interesting. I feel like if McVay got Fournette, he could make a lot happen with him. But they did draft Cam Akers in the second round. They drafted Darrell Henderson in the third round. He loves Malcolm Brown. It's already a big committee, and I think Fournette would just kind of add to that committee, but he would kind of push out Akers' role and maybe Henderson as well. It's just a different situation, but it wouldn't be the end of the world to me. Seattle Seahawks are the sleeper team for me. Fournette would fit in perfectly there. He kind of already runs like Carson does. Some people might say Carson is a better running back just by like stats, but I mean Fournette has the draft capital. He has the pedigree. If you get Pete Carroll riding his butt, you get Russell Wilson out there with him, he's going to outproduce Chris Carson pretty easily. Carson obviously had the hip injury. Rashard Penny's going to start the season off on the pup after ACL and, I believe, meniscus surgery. And then Carlos Hyde was brought in, but he had off-season shoulder surgery of his own. It wouldn't be crazy to think that he go there. And then even like, I know Pete Carroll said Carlos Hyde's going to be heavily involved, or is going to be involved in the run game as well. But if you could get Fournette and you don't need Hyde, like after a couple of weeks, you could just cut him and it wouldn't be the end of the world either. Then we got the 49ers. You know, they got the four-headed monster in the backfield already with Tevin Coleman, Raheem Mostert, Jerick McKinnon, who's supposedly healthy this year. Then my boy Jeff Wilson Jr. fourth in the line there. But I don't know if Fournette would really thrive in that role or if he would be accepting of a role like that. If you bring him in, you're probably getting rid of somebody like Tevin Coleman then, who Shanahan loves a lot. But he could probably do pretty well in the system, but I don't think it's something he would like to do himself. Arizona Cardinals are the last team. He doesn't fit really in Cliff Kingsbury's offense, and the only way it really be in play is if Kenyon Drake was out for a significant amount of time, and even at that point, I think Kingsbury would be comfortable going with Chase Edmonds. But that's just kind of my thoughts on the situation. A couple of just going through all the teams, whether or not it would make sense for them to sign Leonard Fournette and where he might likely go. Just want to throw that out there real quick. I know it's one of the big news for the day, especially in the football community. I think it's something that a lot of us seen coming, but not quite at this time. We thought it would either happen earlier or later. But with that being said, just be sure to keep your eye on what happens with Leonard Fournette. We'll probably make another video when he does sign with the team and what fancy impact that might have for him. If you're drafting in the meantime, like this week, just be very careful where you're drafting him at. Probably double-digit rounds would make sense. at this point. I know he's going like closer to the 4th round before, but that's when he was having a significant workload. With that being said, that's pretty much all I got for this video. Just want to go over the situation real quick. If you guys liked and enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any other thoughts on the situation, leave a comment down below. Just let me know what you think, where you think Leonard Fournette might end up. And with that being said, you guys can reach out to me at CoachCraigSports@gmail.com. Check out the Facebook page, Coach Craig Sports. You can follow me on Twitter at Coach Craig Sport. But with that being said, that's pretty much all I got for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the little bit of news and insight when it comes to the Leonard Fournette situation. And have a great rest of your day.